What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And this is another edition of the Casey Crew.
Welcome. Hello, 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 beautiful people.
Hopefully you guys had a happy Easter.
Yes, happy Easter to you and your family.
And continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are sending some of our subscribers some cool things like a basket like this that has candles, courtesy of Custom Candle Company. Socks, Casey Crew socks, Casey Crew hats, and a bunch of cool different things. Wine mugs, wine glasses, coffee mugs. So, continue to subscribe. And every week we're going to pick a couple of listeners and we're going to send you some cool stuff just because.
And also, if you're interested in any of Marcy's candles, you can go to Custom Candle Company on Instagram.
That is right. And also, don't forget, our car show is July 3rd, July 4th weekend. Hang out with us in Atlanta. The whole family will be down there. Celebrity cars, custom cars, exclusive cars, old cars, face painting, video gaming. It's going to be a fun day for the family. So hopefully we see you guys there. Now today, it's all about you. We've got your emails, your DMs, your texts. I sent you an email, you didn't answer. Well, today it's all about you.
So cut the small talk. Let's go.
All right.
Let's see if we can get 3 in today, right?
Yep. Hey, Envy and Gia. I love the podcast and been a faithful listener since the very beginning.
Thank you.
Even wrote in and you both answered an email of mine on episode 50. Oh, so you being greedy.
Oh, wow. What's the likelihood that we have the same emailer twice?
Right. So this is Bryant and me, and that young lady didn't work out.
Wait, what?
She goes, this is Bryant and me, and that young lady didn't work out. Long story short, tried 2 different times. First time, we stopped being exclusive, and years later, I believe 2018, we tried again. But she wanted a long-distance relationship. She stays in North Carolina, and I stay in Maryland. So I decided it'd be best to go separate ways because it honestly felt like I was being used as a layover and good dick while she visited her family while she was in town. Okay, I guess that was the old story. Mm-hmm. Now he's saying, I'm a new father to a beautiful baby girl who is about to turn 1 on 4/20. Irony since I don't smoke. And another baby on the way. I love being a father. Another irony because I always said I never wanted kids of my own, even though I have 4 god kids. Everyone says I'm amazing with. And my daughter is so amazing. She is such a good baby and only cries when she is uncomfortable or wants to be heard. I'm especially attached to her because she was at 27 weeks and weighed only 2 pounds and stayed in the ICU for 8 months before she was discharged.
God bless.
Scariest time of my life. And she's a spitting image of me. So much that everyone calls her my mini, my twin, or me in a female form. I have a dilemma that I believe Envy can help me with. Recently, I had a dream. A child was abducted and hidden under a floorboard. I was so riled up that I woke up anxious in a sweat and ran to my daughter's room to be greeted with a big goofy smile, and then I burst into tears. So, having 5 children, 3 girls, how do you get over the anxiety, scared feeling of your kids being abducted?
Wow.
I hear you and Charlamagne talk on the Breakfast Club, and that's one of Charlamagne's triggers since he has all girls. How do you get over the anxiety that comes with raising daughters in today's world with all the abductions and sex trafficking going on today? Oh, I mean, that's easy. I don't let my daughters go anywhere. That's pretty much it. When it comes to my kids, I really don't let them go anywhere without mom, dad, or Mercedes or grandparents being around. That's what it is. I'm not one of those people that let my kids play in the park and I go take a jog. I'm not one of those parents that say, okay, you play here, I'll be right back. I'm not one of those parents that be like, hey, you guys stay in the house, I'm running to the store. We are not those parents. So if I go to the store, we all go into the store. That's just what it is. That's how I am as a dad. As far as Madison concerned, she is 19. She'll be 20 this year. Yeah, it still concerns me. She's supposed to be at NYU right now, but because of everything going on in the pandemic, she's been, schooling from here. And I love it. I love the fact that I could go in her room and see that she's there. I love the fact that I could check up on her all the time. When she was in college, I had a little anxiety because I didn't know where she was 24/7. And Madison's a heavy sleeper. So sometimes when you call her, she doesn't answer the phone. It's not that something's wrong. She just doesn't hear it.
We did know where she was.
What?
All the time.
Yeah, I know. But like, if I ever called her and she didn't answer the phone.
Oh, then you would have a bout
and
of
she's
paranoia.
Not here. Right. And she's not here. Yes, I would have anxiety.
But, it's a little strange because when I was a freshman in college, well, first of all, I went to college when I was 17 and I was in a whole other state. I'm in Virginia. And I always wondered to myself, how did my parents deal? And I spoke to my mom every day, but she didn't know every move that I made. You know, with Madison, when she was in New York on campus, I'm like, okay, let me know where you're going. Let me know when you get there. Let me know when you're leaving.
Right.
Now, I don't care where you're going now. You don't need permission at this point. Well, the first few weeks of college, she did need permission. But once, you know, I felt like she was comfortable with her surroundings and her normal places to go, then it was like, okay, now you don't need permission, but now I need to be informed. I need to know exactly where you're going and when you get back, who you're going to be with, and at least one telephone number of someone that you're with. Because in case something does happen to you and I call you and can't get in contact with you, I need an alternate number that I can get in contact with to know where's the last place you've been, where's the last place that they saw you, you know? But yeah, we knew how she moved.
Yeah, we know all of Madison's friends. Our kids don't spend the night at anybody's house. So yeah, we continually watch our kids. We know what they're doing. We know what they're getting into. Madison and Logan, both of them, we told you they have trackers on their cars. So we know where their cars are, where we know where to find them. We know if they accelerated too hard or if they press the brakes too hard. We know how fast they're going. That's just us as parents.
Yes, and they know. It's not a secret.
Yeah, it's not a secret. Yeah, they know.
But not for nothing. Madison is so used to, how do I put it? Being trained against abductions and things like that, that when she got her iPhone, she shared, what is it?
Her location.
Her location with us, like, so that no matter what, we always know where she and her phone are. Like, we didn't have to say, okay, share the she's like, all right, I'm sending you this, I'm sending you that, you know what I mean? So that she's like all for it.
Yeah, and when it comes to her, like, she tells us everything. Like, she just went to the gym. Hey, Dad, I'm going to the gym. I'll be back. Hey, Dad, I'm back. And as far as abductions, well, you have to hop the gate. You have to get through Chuck Norris. Then you have to go through the alarm system. Then you got to get up the stairs. You got to get past my gun. And then if you get through all that, you get the prize.
You got to get through two guns.
And then you get the prize, right? But that's what it is. So when it comes to dealing with our kids, we are extra on top of it. Well, you know, even with the school, nobody could pick up our kids except for me, Madison, Mommy, and Mercedes. Those are the only 4 people that can pick up our kids. My grandparents, their grandparents are not even on the list, which is crazy. They just haven't been to the school.
No, they're not on the list because it's a new school and it's COVID and they don't leave the house.
Yeah, but they're not even on the list.
To put them on the list.
But for right now, those are the only 4 that could pick up our kids. And that's how we are. Like, we take it serious. We take everything serious and we continue to watch. Yes, I have anxiety. I don't worry as much because I always know where the kids are. I always know who's picking them up. I always know what they're doing. We taught our kids in an early age how to call us on the phone if need be, how to dial 911. So we do all of that. And then at the end of the day, we pray.
Well, for me, even, and it's not just girls, you know, even with Logan, you know, Logan at 17 has to get permission to go anywhere that he's going. And it's the same protocol as Madison. Like, I need to know who you're going with, but I know that it sounds a little crazy to his friends. Like, he'll be out and be like, hey, Mom, I'm at so-and-so's house. Is it okay if I go to so-and-so's house now? Okay. Who else is going to be there? Is it a party? Are the parents going to be home? Going to be home? Is there going to be alcohol? What's the deal? All right. Do the parents know that something is going on at their house? Et cetera, and so forth. Like, we're very detail oriented when it comes to our kids. And we've always been, and you know what? I don't know if it's right to use the term overprotective.
We are.
I don't know if it's overprotective. We're protective. And the reason is because, I'm not even going to front, so many things have happened to me in my life. Like, so many uncanny things, unfathomable things. I've been robbed quite a few times, like directly. You guys know our house has been burglarized. I've encountered a lot of bad people in my life. So I'm from the school of thought that anything can happen to me or to my loved ones. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, that would never happen, or that can't happen to me. That only happens to other people, or that happens to people like on TV. Like, that doesn't happen. No, it happens. So I'm a worst case scenario type of person when it comes to my safety and the safety of my children. So ever since they were little, and I'm talking about little, like old enough to talk, we always talk to them about things like kidnapping, abductions, pretty much kidnapping and abductions, and letting them know, like, if you're not careful and if you're not aware of your surroundings, then you can be a victim. So ever since they were small, they always watched the news. And I used to DVR the news so that when something happened to a child, like an abduction, I would cue it and then bring Madison and Logan in and say, hey, there was an attempted abduction in Bergen County. I remember that was one of the particular things because we live in New Jersey. I'm like, hey, sit down, look at this, look at the details. Look, it was a van. Like sometimes I tell you that it could be a van. Oh, look, this is what the guy looked like. They gave a description, etc. And on a podcast a really long time ago, so maybe we can talk about it a little bit because it was quite some time ago. I had a conversation with the kids, a few conversations to kind of really nail it into their brains about what to do if you ever are abducted. Well, first, ways to prevent being abducted. If you're ever encountered by someone, you fight, you yell, you kick, you scream. You do all those things. Some people think that if they just go, that, they won't be hurt or if they don't cause any problems. No, the statistics show that the ones that fight, yell, scream, even if it means you getting hurt in the process, those are the ones that usually make it. So we went over all of that. But in the case that you are abducted, if you're blindfolded or if you have something over your head and you cannot see, you have to take into consideration everything that's around you that you can observe with the rest of your senses. Are you in a car? Are you in a van? What kind of vehicle? Are you going over smooth roads? Are you going over a dirt road? You have to observe how long you're in the car. Because if you ever have the opportunity to get to a phone and tell the police anything, you can say, okay, I was abducted from the park near my house and I was probably in the car for about 30 minutes. And it was stop and go traffic, or it was just like smooth traffic, meaning like you were on a highway. This way they can kind of ascertain whether you're going through a town. So meaning you're still local, or if you were on a highway and there wasn't that much stopping and going, like, all right, maybe you might be out of state, 30 minutes, an hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is. Then I would try to get as much from the car or wherever I'm at on my body as possible. I would be scratching the fabric to get it underneath your nails. I would spit. I would lick my fingers. I would leave as much. I would pull out hair when they're not looking and leave as much of myself as I can in that car. You can tell I watch a lot of ID, right? But things of that nature. Our kids know their address, their telephone number. They can spit it out like that from 2.5 years old. You know what I mean? So that if you ever have the opportunity, you know where you live, you know your phone number, you can call your parents. Our kids, our bus stop is literally 1, 2, 3 houses away. So in Madison and Logan, we're going to school in town. They took the bus, and it's maybe a 4-minute walk from our house to the bus stop. Our kids never went to the bus stop or got dropped off at the bus stop without someone taking them or meeting them there to bring them to our gate. Just because in that short period of time, I feel as though a kid can be abducted. Absolutely. Because there are people that lay in wait that know, okay, he gets off the bus at 2:52 every day. And they know at 2:52, they're going to come back maybe and take your kid because they know that there's no adult there to pick them up. Yeah. And especially our bus stop, it's only 3 kids being let off the bus when it stops there. You know what I mean? So I always worried about that. And I would never be able to suffer through, if it was, say, 2:52 at 3 o'clock, I call my house and my kid's not there. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be able to go through that. And, if you guys have been listening long enough, you guys know that I was the victim of an attempted abduction when I was 9 years old. Mm-hmm. So, and I was walking my dog by myself on a Saturday morning. And it was, in fact, someone who knew that I was walking my dog the same day the same time every day. And he found me. And for several days, I would see him walking down the street as I was walking up the street early in the morning. And then one day he made his move. But hopefully you guys, might have heard that podcast already. So yeah, I think that to alleviate yourself of some of the stress when it comes to having daughters in particular, you have to educate your children and make sure that you take all of the precautions that you can as a parent. Like even when we take our kids to the park, I mean, like parents will be sitting there socializing and talking. And I can't tell you how many times you hear, oh my God, where's so-and-so? Where's so-and-so? Have you seen so-and-so? Have you seen so-and-so? And they're over there by the pond, or they're over there, or they're about to cross the street, or they're playing in traffic. It's because parents aren't really paying attention. And it's in my mind constantly that there's that guy, there's that Chester that might have just pulled up, just waiting for a mark, waiting for an opportunity. Right. So and a lot of times it'll be Rashawn and I both picking up the kids from school like a few days ago. And we take them to the park and all the other school kids are at the park and everybody's talking and whatnot. And I'm like, you got Jax? All right, I got Brooklyn and London. All right, you got Brooklyn? I got Jackson. You know what I mean? And we're like on top of it because I'm fearful myself. So I understand your concern.
But that's how we deal with it. You wanted to know? That's how. Now let's
hope that was detailed enough.
Yeah, I hope it was detailed enough. Now let's get to another email of the week. Hey, what up, Gia and Envy? I have a dilemma, and I'm not sure what to do about it. Me and my boyfriend have been together for 9 months, and we moved in together and found out we have a child on the way.
Wait, they've been together for 9 months and then just moved in together?
Okay. I know it may seem fast, but we know it's right. We are 29 and tired of the games, ready to commit to something real.
Okay.
We have talked about getting married way before we knew about the baby. He already has his wedding band, and we have a date set for the wedding and formal engagement. Close friends and family of his know. My issue is that he wants a big wedding with our family and friends. And if it was up to me, we would get married in a courthouse. I suffer from social anxiety, but he thinks I need to suck it up, and I'll be glad I did it later. I worry about public speaking, vows, and our families clashing, mostly my family embarrassing me, and things being awkward because we're not that close. But most of all, I don't have any friends, female, at that, so who the hell's going to be my bridesmaid? Over the years, I lost my BFF from high school. We just grew apart. And now she considers someone I fell out with to be her best friend. Me and my stepsister used to be close, but we fell out and she moved out of state. And a friend I made at college that was going to be my bridesmaid cut me off a few months ago for petty reasons. Damn. My sister is 12 years younger than me and a straight up tomboy. We're not that close. I mean, I have a few girlfriends from jobs that I worked and we cool, but they already are close with their friends and I never want to overstep. So, what do you think I should do? Is it okay for me not to have a bridesmaid? What is a good way to make female friends? Let me know what you think, and thank you for reading if you picked this email.
Oh.
Well, the problem is you. You ain't got no goddamn friends.
Stop it. That wasn't nice.
Why? No, I'm just saying, that's a tough one. I mean, how do you get married with no bridesmaids? But maybe he got some friends. Maybe he got some cousins and sisters. Because you can use on both sides. No,
you can. Typically, if you know them, if you're close with them.
But she don't have any friends.
Well, there's a few things to address. Okay, regarding that, I feel like it's your wedding, your rules. For instance, my wedding, everybody always said that nobody at the wedding is supposed to wear white except the bride. But for me, I didn't really care about standing out. I cared about my bridesmaids being beautiful and me being beautiful and the whole thing being beautiful. So not only did all of my bridesmaids wear white dresses, but they all wore big wedding type bridesmaid dresses, like they all had the tulle and, the bustier top with all of the embellishments and everything. And I thought that was beautiful and that was it. And did that go against wedding rules? Yeah, but my wedding, my rules. So if you want to have a wedding where you have no bridesmaids, you would just have to convince him not to have any groomsmen. What would probably be a little bit more conceivable is maybe you just having one maid of honor and him just having one best man.
But he might have a bunch of brothers that he was like he wants in his wedding, or that's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. You would have to convince him. I'm just thinking of alternatives, and she might just have to pick one.
But the boys can pick their girls. Let's say it's my wedding, and I got a bunch of dudes with me. Like say 3 dudes that are my brothers that are going to be my groomsmen. They can just pick their wives or their girlfriends.
That could be an alternative. But if you do the one maid of honor and the one best man, it could be, say, for instance, your mother. You know what I mean? Like that would be beautiful.
She might not fuck with her mother. She don't fuck with nobody.
Maybe not. Stop that. Stop that. I mean, we don't know. We're just offering alternatives.
I got an idea when you finish.
Okay. Tell me your idea. You can tell me your idea now. You have to wait.
So this is what I was thinking. It's a pandemic, right? And I know that people are out there and weddings are smaller and people don't have the money. And this is what I was thinking. Benz is buying a house. And if you give Benz a little money, she'll be your bridesmaid.
You hear this, Benz? I'm going to let you have 5 minutes for him.
I'm just saying.
When this podcast is over.
I'm just saying. And not for nothing. Gia's not doing that right now either. So you can start her a little money. You got Gia, you got Benz.
We try to decorate a new house. So me and Benz both need a little bit.
Madison's been asking me for these sneakers for weeks. With Madison a little money? You got Benz, you got me, Maddie, and you got Gia. You got 3.
Wait, Esat just raised his hand. Esat will put on a wig.
Esat will put on a wig and a dress too.
He will be your bridesmaid. You got full court.
You got Maddie, you got Benz, and you got Gia.
Full court.
I just solved your problem.
No, but seriously.
I was serious, but go ahead.
Seriously. Yeah, I do like what you said regarding...
pay people?
No. Regarding if the groomsmen have... But that's not a great idea. Your bridesmaids are supposed to be your peoples. She just doesn't have any. And you don't really want to fake it because then when you go back and look at your wedding pictures... Like, oh, I don't even know that girl. What is she doing with herself now? Nowadays?
Well, then,
do you know what I mean?
She doesn't have to have one. She can have a picture with all of them and then a picture without them.
Yes, I just don't. But if she doesn't have any bridesmaids, he cannot have groomsmen because then she'll just be sitting there looking lonely and friendless.
Don't fuck up my wedding because you ain't got no friends.
Rashawn, this is a marriage. There has to be a compromise.
But these are my bros. This is my best friend, my cousin. Somebody at my wedding.
They'll be at the wedding.
No, I want to take the picture. We're all in tux. She ain't got to be there.
Okay, so what? She's just supposed to be by herself on.
She could be in the middle. She could be in the middle, and we could all surround her in a picture.
And then she'll look lonely as hell, as though she had no bridesmaids.
It's not my fault. She ain't got no friends. She don't have no bridesmaids.
Rashawn, what you're saying is terrible.
All right, well,
we're supposed to say productive things.
I mean, I really don't know. Like, she has no friends. Like, I don't know.
He just may not be able to have.
No, but that's not fair to him.
So, in your opinion, it's the best idea. Whoever accompanies the groomsmen,
correct.
Their wives or girlfriends will be on her side.
Right, but she has to have a wedding. You have to give your vows. It's a special moment.
She doesn't have to have a wedding. That's my next point.
He wants a wedding.
Hold on. We got to talk it through. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem as though finances are an issue. She didn't mention anything about finances. But when it comes to people getting married, I used to be of the frame of thought that, a big wedding and a lavish wedding, I mean, that's what most girls dream of when they're younger, and they envision marriage. Like, that's just like symbolic, the big white dress and all that stuff. But now I feel as though what we need as a married couple comes before having a lavish wedding. So if it were me getting married like close to 30 or, I think she's 29 or whatever, yeah, I could forego the big wedding. Or I could have a destination wedding, something that does not cost that much. Or I could get married at the JOP. Do you know what I mean? And then plan a reception afterwards or a celebration afterwards. Or take 1 year and save. And then maybe for your one year anniversary, then have like a big celebration. Because I know a lot of people they go through that, whether we're going to have the wedding or if we're just going to get married at the courthouse or whatever, like how does that look? And, what do people think? Like what's your opinion about that? So I'm just throwing that out, not that that is necessarily their issue. But even if that is their issue, he really wants the big wedding. Maybe he was a little boy that dreamed about it when he was a kid. So yes, you're going to have the wedding. You're going to have the wedding. I just think that we have to work through the bridesmaid situation. And even if it means that you have to ask friends at work, that just might have to be the route if he is gung-ho on having groomsmen.
I feel bad for you. If COVID wasn't hitting and you were in New Jersey, me and Gia would pull up. I would pull up.
How do you know where she's from?
Well, I don't know. I don't know where she's from, but COVID's hitting, so I ain't going nowhere. But if COVID wasn't hitting and you were in Jersey, Gia and I would pull up, and Gia would be me and Gia would be a bridesmaids. Well, you know what I mean.
I'd be a bridesmaid, and he'd be there to support.
There you go. But think about that. Maybe use their spouses, their girlfriends, and then maybe ask people from work and say, hey, it could be that type of thing.
She asked, where's a good place to meet girlfriends?
He doesn't really have that many girlfriends either. So
no, to be honest with you, I only have like maybe 3 newer friends, aside from friends that I grew up with, friends that I went to high school with, and friends that I went to college with. Those are my closest friends. And then outside of that, I probably have 3 other friends. So I'm not people that I call friends. Most other people are, like acquaintances, people that you talk to on occasion or under certain circumstances. But when I use the word friend, like it's very, very serious. But where can you find acquaintances? That's really tough. I can tell you where to go to find a man, but to go and meet girls, like usually you meet other females at school, at work.
Or things that you enjoy.
At church or during hobbies. So if you're not in school anymore and you're not really thinking about inviting the girls from work, I would have to ask if you go to church or if you have any hobbies. But that would be pretty much the only places that you would meet females, because there's no online friend meeting sites or anything like that. So, and then to take it a step further, maybe you need to think about possibly if there's anything about your personality that might be off-putting to other people. I'm not saying that you are, because again, that could just be a circumstance of, your life, your fallout with your best friend and whomever else. It doesn't mean that there has to be something going on with you, but if it were me, it's something that I would just consider. Like, is there something about me that turns people off?
And regardless of what happens, enjoy your day. You don't need bridesmaids.
And congratulations.
I'm just joking with you when I say you don't need bridesmaids. This is your special day. You could be the only chick that pops out. Who cares? You enjoy your day. You invite your family. Fuck if they embarrass you. Who cares? This is your day. You enjoy it. You be happy, and you spend. You have those memories for life. So just be happy. Don't worry about them other bitches. If they don't want to fuck with you, they don't want to fuck with you anyway. And just enjoy the day with your hubby.
And even with your vows, don't worry about memorizing them. If you have to pull out a piece of paper, actually what a nice thing to do would be like to take your vows, have it printed out, and then have it in a frame. And then read from the frame at the altar. Because then it's a pretty way. Like when you see people at the altar and they just whip out a piece of paper and they unfold it and they read it, may not be the best thing. Like frame your vows and sit there and read it, so that can alleviate some of your social anxiety or your fear of talking in front of people.
You're not gonna do that. That's Gia. She's gonna color coordinate and all that shit. Fuck that. Just say it from the heart, babe. I love you.
No. She has social anxiety. That's not like saying it from the heart doesn't work, because then when she gets in front of a group of people and she starts to try to form her words, the anxiety can take over her. Her heart can start beating. She cannot possibly even form what she wants to say. No, read your vows, practice them, and that will take care of some, at the very least, of your anxiety. But don't worry about any of that. Like, just like Rashawn said, this is your day. You put everything else aside. You put all of your worries aside. All you have to worry about is being happy, being in love, and looking beautiful that day.
Or just take a couple shots of tequila and then just start spitting the shit out. You ain't gonna remember anyway. Just have a good time. It's your wedding.
Next email.
All right. Hey, Gia. Hey, Envy.
Hey.
I listen to your podcast every week and I love you guys. I would love some advice on something that has been at the forefront of my mind lately. Myself and my boyfriend are 23 and 24 years old, and we have been together for around 6 years now. A couple of years ago, we managed to buy a nice 2-bedroom apartment in a great area, and as far as I was concerned, I was going to be content there for the next few years at least. We also managed to purchase a home, and the original plan was to flip it, but I fell pregnant and we ended up renovating the home and moving in. I would say I am like most other 23-year-olds, and I am nowhere near as financially stable as I would like to become. I don't think anybody is.
But that's dope. They bought a house, they were going to flip it, and she's talking about not being that financially stable at 23. That seems pretty awesome to me.
However, with that being said, I kind of fell into a really good job that I enjoy, and I have a small business. So I guess I wouldn't fit the criteria of being broke either. My boyfriend, on the other hand, started a YouTube channel way before I even met him, and in the last 2 or 3 years has really been successful, and he is definitely much more financially free than I am. But I have to explain to him, just because he has money doesn't mean you just spend it here and there and everywhere. And I think he should invest in a few forms of income. But he doesn't listen, and I get it. We're young, and unlike me, he wasn't raised with financial stability my parents could provide my family. Anyway, my dilemma is that my boyfriend is now taking my advice literally, and he wants to buy another 2 properties. He can afford to do this, but I can't, and I'm already very financially set back paying mortgage on 2 properties and having a baby. My boyfriend says he will take care of the money aspect, and we just work on this new project together. But I don't want to give him 100% financial reign on anything, nor do I want to become a full-time mom, because quite frankly, I don't trust him with money. I'm also pregnant again and have recently taken in my little sister to live with us full-time due to issues within my family. I have my hands full. My question is, do you think I should give up my own career to stay home? And do you have any advice on how I can get my boyfriend to be smarter with money? Also, side note, my boyfriend bought me a Range Rover as a push gift after my first pregnancy, and recently, as a congrats, you're pregnant again gift, he bought me a yacht. A yacht. What on earth am I meant to do with a damn yacht? We don't even live by no water. Do you guys know what I should do with a yacht? And see what I mean when I say he just spends money to spend money? Thank you.
Okay, I just need to reconcile a few things in my mind. He's 24 and bought a yacht?
Yes.
Are there other interpretations of the word yacht?
No.
Could a tugboat with certain features be considered a yacht?
Nope.
So he bought her a yacht.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like he got it. I wouldn't be too concerned.
But I will say this. I love the way that you think, and I wish I thought like that at 23, 24. I didn't, even though Gia and I we purchased homes and we had a place to stay and we were secure. We still wilded out. We still did a lot of fuck shit.
Did we?
I bought cars with rims with 22-inch with TVs and all types of stupid shit. We did a lot of traveling. We spent money. We spent money before we were secure because we were young. We were the first person in our family to really have that type of money, and we act like it was going out of style. We did what we wanted to do. There was nothing wrong with it at the time, but I wish we would have.
My mom would say, "You spend money like it's burning a hole in your pocket."
It was. It was burning a hole in our pocket. But I really wish we would have invested early on. We're doing well now, but we could have been doing a lot better. I mean, just imagine if we'd have purchased homes back when we were 23. Right now those homes would have been worth millions and millions and millions, but we didn't.
We purchased homes that we lived in.
Right.
So,
we did both.
Yeah, we did.
We did both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But having a yacht with no water around, I don't see it. Everybody tells me that a boat or a yacht is probably one of the first investments. You're happy when you buy it, and you're happy when you sell it.
One of the worst investments.
One of the worst investments.
Yeah.
They say you're happy when you buy it, happy when you sell it.
Happy when you buy it, happier when you sell it. Yeah.
So what I would do is, it's hard to tell somebody who's making money that, hey, this could stop at any time, because when you're making money, you never expect it to stop. I mean, look at everything that's happened in the pandemic. A lot of people never thought, and they thought that a pandemic was going to last a month or 2, maybe 3 months, maybe 6. I mean, here we're over a year, and a lot of people haven't worked in over a year and wish they planned accordingly. I don't think anybody ever knew, but this will change history forever.
Yeah.
So the fact that he wants to buy more properties, I would let him. I would say, yeah, let's buy more properties, because if not, he's probably going to buy you another yacht, or he's going to buy you something else crazy.
At least sink it into something
that can make you some money.
Is of value.
Absolutely. So I would look into other things. I wouldn't quit my career either. I would continue to, if you enjoy it, I would continue to work. And the money that you have that's extra, put in different things, not just real estate. Do things that will make you money. Look at stocks and bonds. If you're not familiar with it, just put a little bit into it and see how it does. Real estate. Do a little bit of real estate. You know, go into things that you're playing with and that you save. Maybe you have an idea for a business. Maybe you have an idea for a franchise. You know, do different things so everything can come in. With us, we try to have a little bit of everything. And I would definitely say, if it wasn't for the fact that we have all these different monetary incomes coming in, we would be hurt during the pandemic. But for us, you know, whether we have the juice bar, we have the water company, we have the breakfast club, we have the podcast, we have speaking engagements, I have me DJing,
hostings, appearances, seminars, everything.
Appearances. Yeah. We have a couple of different businesses that we own. But all that comes in.
But it's not. Monthly. But it's not only those things. It has always been the preparation for something like this. Not necessarily a pandemic, but for a rainy day, or if Rashawn breaks both of his arms and can't DJ anymore. Like, you just never know what the future holds. So it's always proactive to be prepared in case the bleep hits the fan.
That's right.
When we budget, what we do is we take a certain amount that we know that is needed for all of the bills. Then we have a certain amount that we save every month, no matter what. Then there's another amount that we put aside for our children. So for education and for after they graduate college, etc. And then whatever is left over is discretionary income. And that discretionary income is what we use to spend on things that we like, whether it's vacations or personal things for ourselves or whatever. But you should always be prepared. You should never be spending close to everything that you have, and obviously not everything that you have. A lot of people that we know do, in fact, live check to check, or might only have 3 months of reserve in the bank. And those are the people that were hit the hardest during the pandemic because there was nothing to fall back on. I like the idea of having at least 12 months of reserve in the bank. So after your bills, your obligations, everything like that, you know that if anything happens, you can live for 12 months without suffering and without pulling your hair out. And it gives you enough time to get something else going, to get another job or to re-up or whatever. You just have to live responsibly when it comes to finances.
Right. So I would encourage him, if you guys are not going to, yachters, you don't live on the water, you don't have a boat on the water, you don't need a yacht unless you're going to use it to rent it out. And I would, if he wants to buy more properties, I would buy more properties. You know, I have a bunch of real estate properties. We have a bunch of tenants. We do flips. We just do things to bring money in. I would look into that, but I would definitely not get rid of my job. And I would have that conversation with him, or have that talk with him and say, hey, we need to invest more. Let's look at this and start looking at different things. Of course, you know, I do a seminar with real estate where we break down how we make money in real estate. That might be a good option for him to go, or maybe yourself to go.
I think they're in England. She said mum.
Yeah, she said mum. So maybe they are in
probably,
England.
Yeah.
Or if not, you know, looking to real estate. There's classes online. I wouldn't spend a lot of money on a class. So that's what I don't want you to do. They have classes out there, thousands of dollars. If a class is thousands of dollars, don't do it. But if it's a couple of $100s, or you can Google and see how things work, check out different podcasts, whether it's mine and Caesar's podcast, whether it's the EYL podcast, it's called Earn Your Leisure. Bigger Pocket Podcast is another podcast about real estate. These are podcasts that I trust in, and I say that you can go. There's a lot of people that will try to get you. So just be careful. But I would do my homework and look to invest in certain things. Buy stocks. If you like to fly a certain airline, maybe you buy that stock. If you use certain products in your crib, you buy that stock. These are things that you can do and continue to make money, so that way you don't have a yacht and you have your kids calling your mom.
2 more things. I'm wondering why you don't trust his financial decision-making process.
Because he just bought a yacht.
No, if that decision-making process has gotten him to the point where he can buy a Range Rover for her birthday and a yacht.
I don't think it's how he makes the money. I think it's what he spends the money on. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, I am the type where I make a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you weren't in my life sometimes to tell me to chill out, I definitely would have 44 cars outside. I love cars.
As opposed to 16. Got it.
But I would have 44 cars outside. That's what I would have. You know what I mean? That's who I am as a person. You know what I mean? I love vehicles. I would have a LaFerrari. I'd have every car.
So it's not that he just needs management.
Correct. And I think she's there to manage him.
Okay. So there's that. The second thing is, you guys aren't married. You refer to him as your boyfriend. I'm wondering why you're not married. You have 2 kids and he's providing you with a lavish lifestyle and whatnot. I'm just wondering what's holding back the vows. But taking into consideration that you're not married, I would not give up my career or independence for anyone, because our expectation is always that things will work out and things will be wonderful. And for you, I'm sure, okay, yes, we're going to get married, but you never know what can happen. I would never put myself in a position where I'm at a deficit or disabled from earning an income, because once you lose that, it's very hard to get back into that lifestyle where, once you give up your career and you lose those legs, it's very difficult to get back into that pathway of success where your career is concerned. You have to get back in and then regain your footing. So I would not do that. No matter what, I would make sure that I kept whatever I have going. And like Rashawn said, try to manage him and then try to work in a cooperative way where everybody's goals are set, but make sure that you sit down and you do a budget with him, and then have a certain amount for discretionary income where he can behave lavishly if he chooses to.
Yeah. So keep us posted. Let us know. And we wish you the best. All right. And don't forget, if you have an email or a question, you could always email us at I was going to say DJ Envy, the KC Crew, THEE KC Crew at gmail.com. And we appreciate you guys for listening again. And send us your emails and your questions. We'd love to answer.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week. I'm DJ Envy.
And I'm Dia Casey.
And that's another edition of the KC Crew.
Doodles.
Doodles.